Look, it's either a sewing lesson or hair done. Today's my day off, and this is how I look. Let's hop into the lesson. I didn't mean to be so mean. Anywho, it's my day off, so y'all getting me in raw daylight. How does that feel? Feels good to me, okay? Let's learn to make some pants using a pair of pants that you already have at home. And I'm a forewarning, there's mistakes in here. But I'm going to try my best to pause and let you know what mistakes I did and how it can easily be fixed. We're going to use a pair of pants as our pattern. Right here, I'm laying down my daughter's pants on my folded part of the fabric. One mistake that I made here, I chose a pair of pants that had an elastic waist. That means my waist measurements would be incorrect, but later in the video, you'll see how I corrected that. Right here, I am using chalk to draw out the pattern, adding a 1-inch seam allowance. Now cut that out, and this will create the front panel for your pair of pants. Then you're going to flip the pants onto the back side to create the back panel of your pants. Now that you have your front and back panel, you are going to create what I like to call a sandwich. The outside parts of your pants will be touching each other, and the inside parts of your pants will be looking at you. You want a front panel on top of a back panel, your front panel on top of the back panel. Then pin the side of the seams all the way down from top to bottom and use a straight stitch and sew that down. Once you do that, you will have something that looks like this. Let's move on to the next step. Grab those pins because now we're going to pin from our crotch to the bottom of the pants. You might see a fold towards your side seam. Don't get nervous about that. You want that. Remember, we're creating a circle. When you look at the bottom of your pants, it is circular. So that's all that's creating. Your measurements are correct. Keep moving forward. Now that you have that pin, go ahead and get that straight stitch, sew that down, and now you will have two legs that looks like this. Everything you do with one leg, you do with the other. Turn one leg inside out, and then you're going to put it into the other leg like this. Now we are about to sew the crotch, and this is a technique that I recently learned, and I absolutely love doing this. Line up your crotch seams and pin from there, then begin to pin all the way around every part that is loose, except the opening of your pants. So you're just pinning a U shape. Make sure it's laying flat because you don't want to sew in an awkward place. Take that to the sewing machine and use your straight stitch. Go ahead and sew along that U shape. One thing I want to point out here is once you get to that crotch part, there is more fabric pieces there, so slow your machine down because you don't want to break your needle going too fast over something that is thicker than the other parts of your pants. Now that you've completed that, let's get to the almost final step. Stick your hand into the pants, pull one leg out, stick your hand in again, and pull the next leg out. And this is when I realized my measurements were off, so I added 2 strips of fabric to the side to expand the waist for my daughter. Now it's time to make the waistband. Lay your pants down flat onto the ground and measure across the waist. I got 12 inches across the waist. When I times that by 2, that gives me a total of 24 inches. That's the waist measurements of my daughter, or the correct measurements. Then I'm going to take that measurement and I'm going to cut out the waistband. So I did 24 inches and made a width of 2 inches. I really should have done 4 inches to give myself more wiggle room, but I'm going to pause the video right here and put up the simple math equations that I used to figure out waist measurements, waistband measurements, and how to do that. Because with sewing, you do need simple math. So here you go. Now that you have your waistband, fold it in half and sew that opening going straight down to make it like a circle. Now slide your waistband down onto the pants, and I like to line up the seams to make it seamless and pin it all the way around. Take that to the sewing machine and sew that down. Now I'm going to cut out my elastic. I lay my elastic down Though my waistband is 24 inches, I'm going to cut this 20 inches because elastic stretches. I sew it just like I do my waistband. I fold it in half and sew down that line to make it like a circle. Now it's time to attach the elastic to the waistband. Flip your pants inside out and align the edge of the elastic to the edge of the waistband. I chose the basting stitch to sew this along because it's the longest stitch on your sewing machine and it goes along with the stretch of the elastic. You don't want to choose anything with a tight tension because it's going to just break when you try to pull the elastic. As I am sewing along, I am tugging on my elastic a little bit. I think I tugged too much and that's why I have excess hair, but that's okay. I'm just gonna cut that right there and fix it as I go. So try not to tug too much so you don't have excess like me. Now that you've done that part, fold your waistband in half and sew across the line, continuing to use the basting stitch, tugging on the elastic once again, because once you release, you will have that scrunchy look that you are looking for and your waistband will be able to stretch. I did not add how to hem the pants, but watch my double fold hem video to learn that. Here are your pair of pants. Enjoy!